I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, this place can get downright loud when the roof is closed, and that's the situation here today at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Under center, it'll be the former UCLA Bruin, Josh Rosen.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true number 1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Rosen got an open man. It's QT. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Rosen. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge game, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They'll go back to Edwards on 1st down. And he'll get 3 up to midfield.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. Got a man, it's Brown. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. throws it. He's got Jack Doyle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll try to counter with Washington, and he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it. What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much. Sanders' kick is good, and it's now 3-0 Texans. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there. Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008. I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win. The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. From the 36, Ryan, he's got it to Hilton. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. To Michelle on the screen. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now the pass to Grant, and he's got it. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that. They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well. Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now Michelle. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Ready, blue 80, 525, 53, ready, set. Check it back. 39. Check 31, check 31. Ready, set.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Check, 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 check. 36,
They'll try again with Jones. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, pick them up. And someone jumped.
A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal.
check your hot read. 21.
From the shotgun, Ryan. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Let's go. Let's go.
So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank. But this game, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction. But he seemed to put a little too much on it. And from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They go play action. It's Rosen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Rosen. Complete to Washington. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jaguars getting set to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January. And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl. And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it. They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Ryan. Complete to Hilton. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
That one good for 26 and a 1st down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And they will run it with Michelle. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action, throw the ball. I say commit.
And he'll take this into the end zone. A touchdown, Jacksonville. Phillip Lindsay, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. So he missed his lone field goal try, but he's got this one as that extends their lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was capped off by a Phillip Lindsay touchdown run. Joseph now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. Washington's got it. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. We focus our attention now on T.Y. Hilton as he gets ready to head back onto the field. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has.
Let's go, let's go. Check. 58. 54, stop. 59,
operating from the gun, Ryan. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
Intercepted all day, baby.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Squeeze, double.
After the interception, here's Rosen. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Sanders is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, But how about the other side, learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage. Not that it matters as the final seconds tick away. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Second half starts with a run by Lindsey. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Brian Grant, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Check, wait, check, crunch. Check. Shit. 80 weapons. Under 51. Ready to go.
They'll run. It's Lindsey. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on 1st down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
You ready? 51, shove!
They'll try and run forward with Lindsey. They push forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So that'll back them up 5. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. High. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On 2nd down, Hyde. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Middle.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Antonio Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans have retaken the lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Let's get off the field, D. Check safety. 53, check.
They'll try the draw, Lindsey. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, Ryan. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Trey Flowers make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Play action here with Rosen. His throw incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Rosen will throw. Middle of the field to the tight end, Doyle. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a big play for the Jaguars. 46 yards on the ground.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Lindsey. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on first down. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Chris Godwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars have retaken the lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at
and he lost the football, and the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. They go play action with Ryan. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up first and goal. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run with Lindsey. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first-down gains.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal.
Watch it. 20.
They go play action now. Ryan. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down. And they may be going backward here. So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Give him 30 yards there.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now Rosen on first down. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He's back to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing now is Rosen. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll look to throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 12-yard line. Rosen in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They run high. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with this 4-point fourth-quarter lead.
And they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The Texans on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And it's caught. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Fourth down, here's Rosen. This is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. He'll look to throw, and this is caught. Touchdown! And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
This will be fielded at the 8th. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So Matt Ryan of the offense, down 20-17, a little over 20 seconds to go. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up first and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
Playoff hopes as they move to 4-7, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, their luck may have run out as they fall to EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to South Florida at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida as a moment ago the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with the New England Patriots. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Wait, 10. Wait, 20. Here we go. Wait, 20. Hit. He's crossing. Wait, 20.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Open man is Gordon, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there? Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at their 48-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, switch gears. He's coming. We got double up.
Here's Brady. It's a first down and more for Gordon. That's complete. It's Gordon. And finally marked down at the 23. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Brady gives to Michelle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 17, Brady caught by the tight end Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. From 17 yards out. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. On paper coming in, you'd say that these guys are the better team by far, and they sort of showed their superiority there on the opening drive.
Yeah, they came in the heavy favorite in this game, and even though they're on the road, they just still just wiped it away, didn't they? They just said to everyone, we're the better team. We just showed it to you on this opening drive, and we expect to do it all game long.
This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now it's Rosen. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Faking the give to Drake, now Rosen. Is a defense, what a nuisance when you look on the other side and they've got a tight end that can run a post route like that.
And you felt the ground shake, didn't you? Oh, even all the way up here in this booth. How about when he grabbed the football? You could see the terror as everyone was thinking, do I even want to try and tackle that big man?
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy?
What you got, Levy? Give me some. Give me some. All right, here we go.
A first carry for Kenyon Drake. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The veteran Stephon Gilmore able to break that one up.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. And now it's Rosen looking. He rifles one that's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Oh, no doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there, and you saw the end result.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Xavier Howard up to make the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Brady. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen, eluding the pressure right. And this is Parker, complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 6-0 our score after 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Who that? 54. Mike 54. Back.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Jamie Collins able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. It was really, really difficult. We're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Rosen. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Rosen on 1st and 10. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other. Running, it's Drake. And he's got this down to the 35.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Rosen off the play action. Caught by Wilson. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Albert Wilson, 35 yards, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Pats at the line ready to go and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
After the interception, here's Rosen. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After